You are listening to Viewpoints from PlaceCloud. Cultural researchers tell stories of places from around the world. For the full multimedia experience and to support the creators you enjoy, visit placecloud.io.
We are standing in front of the Empire Cinema in Leicester Square, a tourist hotspot and a place of entertainment, film premieres, and celebrity. But this location once drew crowds for another reason. On the 2nd of May 1689, a rather more gruesome spectacle took place. Mary Aubry, a French midwife, faced execution due to the murder of her husband Dennis Aubry, who she had strangled. She'd confessed to the crime, was convicted, and sentenced to be burnt. An anonymous account of her behaviour and execution imparts the story of how Aubry dismembered her husband and hid his body parts. The, quote, body was found in Parker's Lane, his arms, legs, etc. in the Savoy House of Office, and his head in another near Exeter Exchange, end quote. This story is confirmed by the record of her trial at the Old Bailey. The sentence against Aubry was, quote, that she should be carried from thence to the place from whence she came, and thence be drawn to the place of execution, and there be burnt with fire till she is dead, end quote. At about 10 o'clock in the morning, Aubry was collected from Newgate Prison by the sheriff's officers, placed on a sledge and drawn to Leicester Fields, as Leicester Square used to be known. There, on the north side of the square where we are now standing, a stake had been erected. She arrived at 10:30 and was reported as, quote, appearing very penitent, often lifting up her hands and eyes to heaven, seemingly to express how much sorrow for the crime that had been the occasion of this her shameful end, end quote. Half an hour after her arrival, Aubry was set upon a small stool and had a rope fastened through a hole in the stake and around her neck. The stool was taken away, and she hanged, slowly strangling to death for a quarter of an hour, as wood was piled about her. Eventually the pile of wood was lit, and it burnt until little remained of Aubry but charred bones and ashes. Execution by fire had been the punishment for women accused of high and petty treason since the end of the 13th century. Petty treason extended to wives slaying husbands, as Aubry's case shows, and to the murder of masters or mistresses by servants and apprentices. High treason charges were brought against both men and women convicted of counterfeiting coins and forgery or slandering the sovereign. Men convicted of high treason would be hanged, then disemboweled, quartered, and often displayed. But, like the example of Aubry, where strangulation was carried out first, executioners generally allowed men to die on the gallows before cutting them down and carrying out the rest of the sentence, at least by the mid-17th century. Men charged with coining offences were not subjected to this execution method and were simply drawn to the place of execution and hanged. But women, for the same crime, were burnt. Thousands of people crammed into Leicester Square, or Leicester Fields, to witness Aubry's execution, much like they do today for film premieres. I wonder if those have any inkling that they are walking where once a woman burnt for the murder of her husband.